You know, you got to ask the PAP who is this who is actually the architect of this 6.5 million people. Now we are about a little bit more than 5 million. The point is that they never really go to the ground. When they are not on the ground, they don't know what actually has happened. They just sit on the table and they plan. Right, Singapore can take 6.5 million. You got to ask them who's the architect. So with your permission, I would like to speak a little bit in Malay. Para pengundi, pilihan raya umum kali ini adalah sangat genting. Undi anda akan menentukan sama ada Singapura akan mara ke hadapan dengan matang sebagai demokrasi bertaraf dunia pertama atau terpendam sebagai negara separuh kuku besi tanpa kematangan yang diinginkan. Nah, dunia telah berubah. Pemerintahan yang baik telah menjadi prinsip panduan untuk negara dunia pertama dan ketiga. Singapura juga mesti berubah. Selepas pilihan raya kecil 1981, anda dapat menyaksikan bagaimana perdebatan telah mengejutkan. Suasana parlimen yang hambar apabila JB Jerat 6 dari Parti Pekerja telah menerobosi memasuki parlimen. Itu kesan rasa demokrasi berparlimen yang pertama selepas 16 tahun tanpa ahli pembangkang yang dipilih. 3 dekad telah berlalu. Parti Pekerja percaya bahawa rakyat Singapura berhak untuk memiliki lebih daripada hanya perdebatan. Rakyat Singapura layak untuk mendapatkan satu pemerintahan yang baik. Jadi bagaimana untuk mendapatkan satu pemerintahan yang baik itu? Kini garisan antara parti yang memerintah dan pemerintah itu sendiri adalah kabur. Dan suara-suara yang berhak dan bersaing tidak dipedulikan. Ini akan membuka jalan ke arah pemerintah yang gagal lagi ranah. Bagaimana apabila ahli-ahli politik yang tidak bermoral mengambil tempatnya dalam parti pemerintah? Anda telah melihat bagaimana dominasi PAP yang menyeluruh dengan dasar-dasarnya yang menyondol telah membawa kepada kesulitan dalam dasar perumahan, pengangkutan, jurang pendapatan yang lebar dan kos sara hidup. Singapura telah melentas daripada ekonomi dunia ketiga pada perolehan pendapatan kasar yang tinggi dalam 45 tahun. Inilah masanya yang tepat untuk mengambil kesempatan dalam keadaan ekonomi dan politik yang stabil dengan menuju ke arah parlimen dunia pertama. Sebuah parlimen bertaraf dunia pertama akan melindungi survival kita sebagai sebuah negara. Sekiranya parti pemerintah gagal dalam apa keadaan sekalipun, kita memastikan Singapura akan terus hidup. Kita harus menentukan Singapura akan terus tumbuh dan membangun. Ianya tidak akan berlaku sekiranya parti pembangkang tidak memiliki pengalaman yang semestinya di parlimen dalam penggublah dasar. Ini hanya boleh berlaku sekiranya ada anggota parlimen yang bermaruah lagi yang dipilih menjadi insurans perlindungan di hari kini terhadap kegagalan di hari besok. Pembangkang yang dipilih dalam parlimen pada masa ini berarti sebuah pemerintah alternatif dapat dibantu dalam masa-masa krisis dan keperluan. Ladies and gentlemen, voters, Singaporeans, fellow Singaporeans, throughout the period of Singapore's national building, the PAP government has developed Singapore infrastructure and important institutions such as the transportation system, airport, port facilities, all according to first world standard. However, throughout all these years, progressive reforms have been neglected on the most important institution, in our nation. What is the most important institution in our nation? It is Parliament. So we have not built Parliament in the mold of first world Parliament, like what we have done for our infrastructure and other institutions. So PAP is always fond of using the word inclusive. Inclusive society, inclusive growth. But when it comes to Parliament, it's always exclusive for them. The Workers' Party is striving for a Parliament that will be an effective representative of the people's aspirations and embraces the people's talent. The main reason for the lack of talent among Singaporeans is because the environment does not enable our people to cultivate their potential. This is a result of the PAP policies. The ruling party should not dominate every aspect of Singapore. PAP and NTUC symbiotic ties instead of representing genuine workers, union representing genuine workers, and for the union's proper genuine interests. And then you have People's Association, and you have a greater part of Singapore is all dominated by the PAP. The PAP do not give the space and opportunity for others to evolve. People must be enabled to participate in the development of our society. Organic leadership and participation of diverse groups should be encouraged. Only then can we have a robust society with talented people everywhere. Now to do this, we need a Parliament that will check and ensure that the executive places core values such as human dignity, diversity, tolerance, mutual respect as key conditions in policy making and implementation. It is of utmost importance, besides parliamentary procedures and processes, Parliament must uphold core values befitting its dignity and sanctity as the supreme law of the country, because these are its strengths. Now, with the continuing cultivation of diverse talents and core values, we have the elements of becoming a potential great nation. Now, I would like you to follow this in the book Lee Kuan Yew, Hard Truths to Keep Singapore Going. It states, he, meaning Lee Kuan Yew, was convinced that the United States would recover from its current economic troubles because it has shown throughout history that it has the societal culture and talent to innovate, create breakthroughs, and bounce back. So in a dignified Parliament, members of Parliament have full voting rights, including voting for or against constitutional amendments and money supply. In a Parliament that holds human dignity, there is no such thing as a second-class member of Parliament. In the remaking of Parliament, we must be grounded with a sense of our own people. We shall look into the best parliamentary practices of the developed countries, but at the same time, inspire our own idealism in identifying our own unique setting. Parliament will evolve with the people's contribution of ideas and thus become a true Parliament for its people. We must not be confused by what is defined by the PAP that in order to have a strong government, the PAP must have a monopoly of parliamentary seats without giving the space and opportunity for diversity to come to its places. This is the result of the PAP consuming overwhelming power and thus become myopic and not able to see the other picture. For them, the role of the legislative coincides with the role of the executive, which is the cabinet and the government, because of their monopolistic view, which has been entrenched by long years of political power. As such, they are unable to appreciate the real value of organic and thought leadership that emphasizes emphasize an important distinction between leadership and management, between the role of the legislative and the role of executive. Now, the bottom line is that leadership is about initiation of new ideas, forging new directions. Implementing them is managerial undertaking, which is the job of the government. So in this particular case, my conclusion is that it's possible for all of you to please vote all the 23 candidates from the Workers' Party. Vote them into Parliament. With that, we have a substantive voice to make the first world Parliament on your behalf. It is the People's Parliament. Thank you.